Hello, hello. Welcome to day 24. Hope you are doing well. So, today is the integration of the abundance practice. So, the abundance is really is one of the key energies to work with on our transformation journey. Because if we are unable to access the energy of abundance, that life is kind of multiplying by itself and not falling into belief systems so one of the big belief systems is that there's not enough resources to provide everyone. And there's a lot of proof. The mind has a lot of proof and a lot of evidence for that to be true. So that can be a tough one to struggle with or to work on if we feel that there's more stuff that needs to be processed. So I'm going to begin today a little bit and coming back to my body. I've had a big day today. Simba did some work on me late last night, and he's a phenomenal body worker, and he works with energetics and he works on many different layers. So he helped me. So I've had something back here, I feels like, for my whole life. And it's the epicenter also from all the nerves and all the meridians. The little hump back here. So he helped me to work through something there last night. And that was very, very, very powerful. So when I woke up at 1 a.m. and had difficulty coming back to sleep. So then I knew that there was something going on in the body that was kind of rearranging itself. And then this morning I woke up quite early and felt like, okay, there is something very deep moving through the system, moving through the body. And it's funny because there's always, well, not always, but it's like the universe is arranging itself perfectly for certain emotions to be triggered. So the energetics of what I was able to work through here yesterday was energetics of abandonment. So that happened when my father left the family when I was six. So there's a big thing going on there with the masculine energy, so that I took on a lot of masculine energy on myself because I didn't get that from the external world. So and I've been talking a lot about with my mother about this because she's here. So there's she's here for a couple of months. So there's this time is, I mean, we're very much still in the snake year, it feels. It's still a couple of weeks left before the horse year begins. Yet there is the last final things to shed. So I'm really taking advantage of that. So when this happened this morning, I decided to go fully into that, and it turned out to be on a Sunday, which is usually I try to have completely off. And I've also, it was a day when I felt like there was nothing on my to-do list that was kind of pressing. So I really decided to allow myself to have a full day off. But yet I have this live. So this is starting to become very interesting, that the resistance and so it's not a resistance to the teachings itself or to be here with you, because you guys are the reason that I want to come on and that I can come on and feel. It's like this is also supporting for me, but it's something about doing something every day that is starting to push something inside of me that I'm starting to notice. So it's interesting that that this day kind of happened. So what happens is that usually the universe presents the perfect opportunities for certain energies to come to the surface. So I identified that the energy of abandonment was something that I was working on, and I started to feel the emotion coming up this morning, and I started to feel like I felt like very uneasy and something happening inside of the body. And I also felt a lot in the lower belly, lower parts of the belly. And interestingly enough, Lucky the cat has been missing for a couple of days. She's been out on adventures. And so my body used the fact that she was missing to access emotionally the emotions from the past. So the blockage for me to not access those emotions was removed yesterday with when I was working with Simba. And then this morning, the body started to access the energy from the past, and it kind of used Lucky as leverage. So my mind was projecting that scenario or the current scenario or the certain current circumstance, so to pair the emotion so that I could access the emotion. And then I was working through the potential loss, and then I realized that there was this abandonment feeling and there was this loneliness. So then I started to put them together and used the so I stopped. Well, I didn't stop. I was detaching the thoughts from the emotions and not allowing any belief systems to be affected in projecting that Lucky was gone or anything like that. But I was using the situation as a way to access the deeper layers. And then I could start to see that, okay, this is interlinked, this is intertwined. And also my mother is on a visa run for 2 days. So there was this situation of being left alone or being abandoned, but it was fiction. It's like it wasn't real, but the body was experiencing that way. So, and that took me into a very, very, very deep process of healing that energy and clearing that emotion and that wound and that past. And when you do those things, when it's so raw, then showing up on the internet is like, okay, that's just not really what I want to do at the moment. So this was interesting. So I was kind of, then Simba's been away this morning, and then he come back, and now he has a consultation. So I could ride on his energy. So he was like, okay, if you're going to do your consultation, then I'll do my live. Because otherwise that would be like, I would be pushing that forward. So it's interesting to see how we can, so he came with the masculine energy and he's been exercising, he's doing his sword warrior training all morning. So he's like really in his masculine, and came home and was really stable and grounded and like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to da, 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 da. So then I could ride a little bit on that energy. And then now I'm here. So what has been extremely deep, like in the feminine process, then he comes in with stability, and then I can climb on that energy. And now I'm starting to feel that, okay, things are happening, or things are really deeply shifting. Because when I heard, no, I did a full cycle, and then I realized, okay, I'm starting to be stable. Things are passing, and I was going to go get some lunch. And then I saw Simba come back at the same time. So Simba was gone, Lucky was gone, Mom was gone. So Simba came back, and then I walk into the kitchen, and I hear Lucky, and she's been away for 2 days. So, and I was not expecting to see her. So she came back. and mom is coming in a little bit. So it's like all of a sudden everyone was returned, and it's like I was receiving. So it was this expanding and contracting. So I was contracting into the loss and the grief, and there's also a lot of loss and grief that is being processed on the land at the moment because of the loss that we had last week. So there is this really deep energy of grief and processing at the moment. So my whole system just took advantage of that, and Simba helped me last night, and then everything came together. So it's been this wave of uncertainty and emotions and processing and grieving and just letting go. And it's been, so the only way that I could, so I was thinking, okay, should I talk about this? Is this even interesting for people? And this is where I'm deeply connecting with my body and allowing my body to lead the way. So when I sat down here and I lit the candle, so I light the candle and I tune in, and I was like, okay, I felt into the body, and I actually I draw a card just before I started the live, because Simba came with this one. I haven't used this in a while, and this is one of my favorites because it's the nature spirit. I really like nature because it's neutral and it's all connected to the elements. So I feel like they are. It's you're not receiving anyone else's intentions, because sometimes in the card you can feel an intention. So I was like, okay, how am I, okay, I'm going to pull a card and see what am I going to share, or what am I being guided to share. And I was like, it's probably going to be something with fire. That's what I felt like. Oh, okay. And then volcano. So I was like, okay. So I lit my little candle and I felt into the body. What does the body actually want? And it was like, yeah, you have to speak to this that happened, and then the rest is going to follow. Because if I'm not being open, if I'm not being, then I'm not utilizing this channel. I'm not utilizing this for myself, and I'm not sharing and being open and vulnerable. And if we're going to be here together for 108 days, I can't just sit and, read teachings. That's just not going to fly for any of us. So it's like the turning it to the personal and the connection is what my body wanted. So that felt aligned. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And when it comes to I'm just going to drop into the body a little bit and just rearrange a little bit. It's a lot of energy moving. So the things that I wanted to touch upon today with the integration that came up for me after yesterday's session was, so what hardens the heart? And that is all the negative experiences that we have from the past. It's judgment from others, lies, deceit, betrayal, anger, grief. All of these things harden the heart because of we are going through difficult times. And if we are unable to process, same as everything else, then they can start to become a lot of, you see, something's happening with my body. A lot of protection around the heart, which is, it's the body's way for us to not be hurt in a way that we might not be able to handle, because it's all about the body being able to handle the situations that we are going through. And if the person or the nervous system, like the capacity of the person is not there, then the body has to to protect itself. So there's always a reason for protection. So there's not that we're doing anything wrong when we are protecting ourselves from difficult times, but it can be difficult to open it up once it has kind of gotten a grip. So I felt for years and years and years that I still have um, protection and blockages around the heart. And yesterday in the session, I started to open up because I'm doing the session as much as you. And I really felt when we were breathing in into the fascia, I could really expand and extend on the front. And then when we started working up here, then because everything is connected, so I could open up that energy and start to move it. And then this wave of unprocessed emotions and energy came, and that was quite a wave. So it took me all day. All time. It's 2:30 p.m. now. So it's been with me all day. But now it's shifting, and now so it's like these realities, they come and they go. So it's this giving and receiving, it's this flow of life, and this figure eight of energies that is constantly moving. So once we come in harmony with these waves and really allow the body to, so that I decided to do that, to really allow the body to process, to really take the time. Simba was away, I had nothing on my schedule, and just allow that to be. And then everyone came back. So it's a roller coaster. So what I also experienced after yesterday's session was that real abundance is truly felt when we are able to slow everything down, and we really allow silence to come in. So we slow everything down so we are able to feel, so that the senses, so we kind of maximize the senses. So after yesterday's session, I took a hot bath, and that really, I used the heat to really slow down the nervous system and really ground into my body. And from there I could access. So when we are in the parasympathetic nervous system, or when we are grounded, when we can access the abundance, because once the fight or flight is activated, or once we are in freeze, then we are not accessing the sensations of abundance unless we've done a lot of work, because we can feel things in parallel. But in the beginning, when we are starting to clear out the past, and we are maybe digging a little bit deeper into what is going on, then it's not, when we are in those types of activations, then it's not as easy to access the abundance. But once we are down in the like when we are in fight or flight or freeze, so when we can access the abundance is when we are relaxed, when we are in our bodies, and when everything is regulated and we feel safe and happy. And that's when we become playful, and that's when the fun starts. So when we can be in that sensation and activate these senses and everything, so we are in this experience of really understanding that we can access the levels of abundance that we have through the senses. And then from that place, we can access the state of gratitude, because when you are really present, and the best imagery that I can give you is to grab, especially when we're here in Thailand, grab one a ripe mango or a watermelon or a mangosteen or something that is it's just so much flavor. The sensation, and it's pure nature. And when you grab this and you smell it and you can actually feel what it smells, when it smells like a mango, when it's warm, the skin is warm, it's just shining, it's like golden, and then you take a bite and it's just pure heaven. And the response from the body when we can experience life in this way is the instant feeling of gratification and gratitude. So when we can slow down and really express and enjoy, and this is where the connection to the sensations and the pleasure comes in. And this is what we will be exploring more in sensational in the end of February, because those things I don't teach open in the group. That's a private session or a private experience. But that's when we start to fully come online and really enjoy the fruits of life, so to speak. And this is something that we can regulate in the body and that we can access. And the more we let go, the more we can access the deeper and deeper layers of the experience of being alive. And that is really the point, to access life force and to activate the Kundalini energy. It's life itself that is pouring, and that's why we call it the wellspring, because it fills it up. And once we open up the energetic lines in the body, the meridians, and we open up the stagnation in the body, then the energy can flow more freely and the whole system will become more vital, and then the experience of life becomes so much bigger. And when we release the stresses of the world and we are able to navigate and keep the wildness of the world at arm's length, and we can have this experience of peace, and the sensations of the body can lead the way, and we can taste the fruits of life, and we can be with the ones we love, and we can create the memories that we can cherish in our hearts. And that is what warms up and allows the heart to soften again. But as long as the heart is feeling or believing that it's still danger out there, that it's not safe to open up, then we are going to stay guarded. So it's the returning into the body, to relaxing the system and realizing it is perfectly all right to feel again, because it's, even if rainy days are coming, once we can regulate the body, and this is the kind of growing up part, that we become sovereign beings that can actually take care of ourselves emotionally. Like, I can hold space for myself during this lifetime, and that is the deeper layers, and showing to the body, like today, like I didn't need anyone else to be there for me. I was perfectly fine to hold the space for myself, and that is something that we need to do at times. So there's a time to be together and there's a time to be alone. So there's this continuing balance. So it's the giving and receiving in this natural flow. And nothing is, it needs to be like this or needs to be like that. It's all of the things at once. So it's all of the experiences at once. So this is today's integration for the abundance energy. So stay with this, see what touches you, see what comes up, and see how you can support the heart, and really listen to the heart and see how it guides you, and see, because the heart always knows. And once we start to allow the walls to kind of come down, then we can be more and more open. So this is also why I decided to do this, because I want to reveal more of myself. I want to allow a new level of change. So the change comes from me putting myself out of my comfort zone to find myself a new comfort zone that is on another level. So I'm slowly starting to build the comfort zone of being fully transparent online, live. There's no, oh, that didn't feel good, I'll do another one. And that is, there's a lot of pressure on the nervous system, on belief systems, on all kinds of things every time I go live. So I'm really training my nervous system and my whole being to a new level. So this is an extraordinary journey. I mean, for me, that's also one of the reasons that I keep on expanding, and that I'm having all of these emotional upheavals and processing, because I am stretching myself. I am increasing my capacity willingly. And then I know that when I do that, and that's also why most people aren't stepping out of the comfort zone, because it takes a lot of work to live beyond your current reality, because we are all living in different realities based on social status, work, cultural things, uh, where you live in the country. I mean, there's just so many different layers of the experience that we can have. And when we are born in a certain aspect of that, certain part of that, it is a difficult thing to move yourself out of it, because you have to challenge every single layer of your being, because we we ex, we exist on the level of perception that we have. If we haven't been, if we don't have access to something else, and that is why people are able to do these huge transformations, because we have access to how other people are living, because of the internet and the fact that we can, basically walk in virtually anywhere, in every type of way there is of living. It's all accessible to us. So now we have something to mirror. It's like, oh, that's possible for me. But yet you have to shift the belief systems. We have to shift the nervous system and clear that out, because it all has to resonate. Because if we don't believe that it's possible for us to live a different way than we are used to, then nothing in reality is actually going to shift. So moving yourself into new realities, making massive changes in your lives, it is a real deal, and it's a real effort, and it costs a lot of energy. So that's why you just don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm actually gonna have it's time for me to get a 5-time raise, because I'm not going to live in this financial bracket of the current existence. I'm moving up in the world. And the reason why we just can't, or 99.9% of the time, that is just not happen. It's just not from one day to another. It's not just a decision. There's actually work that has to be done on many, many, many different layers. So the patience and the love and the respect for ourselves is there. Yet we know that everything is possible. That's it. That's it for today. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to hear your comments in the group and see what you are experiencing during these reflections and this modern day philosophing that we are doing. So basically we are exploring together, because I'm doing this work as much as you are. I just done it for a long time, and I know it works, and I'm happy to help. So this is me sharing how I'm doing it and how it looks for me, and the more transparent I can be, then the more genuine the journey we can have together. So let me know if you enjoy these kind of personal shares, and yeah, just give me feedback. So I will probably start doing like a weekly check-in, so that we can have like a weekly catch up where your guys are at and what the topics are surfacing, so I can have, so we're creating as we are going. So it's day 24. I mean, we still have it feels like 24 days. Wow, there's so many, and then it's like 108. Okay, it's a it's a long way to walk. We still have a long way to go. So I will probably choose a day where we can have a check-in, so it becomes a little bit more structured. With no structure, we are slowly creating structure. Okay, I'm rambling now. Love you so much. Hope you're doing well, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.